So, good evening. I actually found two Mechekh Chockhmahs this week that I really couldn't choose between. So, as a preliminary, I'm recording a Dvar Torah that I did not really consider this week's primary drasha, but it is so central to a certain book that went to the printer yesterday that I couldn't help but share this thought. So it says in Bereshis, Mem Zayin Chavches, it's the opening and title pasuk of the parsha. It says, Vayechi Ya'akov Be'eretz Mitzrayim Sheva Esrei Shana. Yaakov lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years. Vayehi Yemei Shnei Chayav Sheva Shanim V'Arba'im U'Ma'as Shana. So that the span of Jacob's life came to 147 years. Vayechi Yaakov Be'eretz Mitzrayim. So on the words, and Yaakov lived in the land of Mitzrayim, the Mechekh Chockhmah writes, haKohein, this is the topic. This is the thing here. She'adam yesh echad shechai la'atzmo. People, it's possible for a person to just live for themselves. Gam zeh tov. And that's a value. V'yesh echai levnei veiso. And then there's the person who lives for the member of their household. V'yesh echai le'iro. And then there's the person who lives for a city. V'yesh echai lechol ha'olam. And then there's the person who lives for the entire world. And about this, the pasuk says, "V'tzadik yisod olam." The tzaddik is the pillar, is the foundation of the world. So how is the tzaddik the foundation of the world? Because a tzaddik lives connected to the whole world. Just as most people live for themselves and for their family, and some people are better and they live for their neighbors, their town, their community. A true tzaddik lives for the whole world, and therefore tzaddik yisod olam. Therefore tzaddik is the foundation of the world. Yaakov avinu lo iro levad hayachai. Yaakov didn't just live in his city. V'lo be'eretz Goshen, not in the region of Mitzrayim that the Jews settled in, the land of Goshen, levad alone. Rak b'chol eretz Mitzrayim. Rather, he lived in the entire land of Mitzrayim. Vaynu shepasak harelav miMitzrayim. And that is how the famine ended in Egypt. Sheberach leparo sheyala hayaor b'shvilo. That there was a blessing for Paro that the Nile would come up for him. V'zeh she'amru aval kavod zem leMitzrayim v'lo le'eretz Goshen bilvad. And therefore it says that it was bad for Mitzrayim when Yaakov died, and not just for Goshen. Shechazar relav lemkomo achatiraso, because the famine went back to the way it was after Yaakov died. So Yaakov, because he lived as part of the entire Mitzrayim, his concern for others was so broad as to include all of Egypt. Therefore, when Hashem gives Yaakov a bracha, all of Egypt gets the bracha. And when Yaakov dies, all of Egypt loses the bracha. V'lachein Rabbeinu HaKadosh. Similarly, Rabbeinu HaKadosh, the author of the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, Kari Anaf Shevichayi Yehuda Yudzayin Shanim B'Tzipori. When he writes about himself, he says Yehuda lived 17 years in Tzipori, which is a city up north that the Jews fled to after the Bar Kokhba wars, and Judea became inhospitable to Jews. Hainu she'manvanuso hiktin kvodo. This is not that he only lived in Tzipori. Rather, he had anava. He was a modest man. And therefore, he reduced his kavod. Sheinu chayrak b'Tzipori. He didn't only live in Tzipori, al-emes. I wish I remembered what that acronym was. Tavuach. Aylachem over sheba Eretz Yisrael. Harei shekvodo higin al kol Eretz Yisrael. So we see that Rebbe's bracha covered in reality all of Israel, but since he knew that that was a statement of his own greatness, he said that he lived in Sipore, not in Israel. So this is the notion of Vayechi Ya'akov Be'eretz Mitzrayim. Yaakov lived connected to the whole land of Mitzrayim. Well, the reason why I couldn't pass up this Mechekh Chockhmah is because I just completed a work. It'll be reaching shelves, I don't know, a month or two, on the introduction to Shara Yosher. So in the introduction to Shara Yosher, this idea of a person living for themselves or for more people is central to how Rav Shimon Shkop, the author, explains the idea of chesed. In fact, it's fundamental to his entire worldview and the purpose of life. Uskula zuhi sheisbar v'yisames etela adam echuso shel hani shalo. Person has to explain to himself and understand the truth of the echut, the quality of his ani, of his eye. The capital I, not EY. Ki bezeh yumdad ma'alas kol adam, because that is the measure of the greatness of a person, lefi madregaso, according to the stage that he's at. Hadam hagas v'hashafel, a coarse and lowly person. Kol ani shalo, his entire ani, mitzumtzam rak b'chomro v'gufo. His eye, when he talks about himself, he only means his substance, his body. L'malam mimenu, one step above him. Misha margish ani shalo, somebody who feels that his ani, murkav miguf v'nefesh, is a fusion of both body and soul. But his own soul. Ulamalam mizeh, and greater than this, Misha machnis la'ani shalo b'nei veito mishpachto. The people who include their household and their family, one step above that. And the person who follows the Torah, Hani shalo kol elas kol am Yisrael. His ani includes the entire Jewish people. Shebe'emes kol ish Yisrael hu rak ke'ever miguf hu mahi Yisraelit. Because each person of Israel is like a limb in the body of the Jewish people. V'od yesh bazeh malo shel isha shalem. And there are more levels up for the whole man, for the person who is complete. Roy lahashrish benafsho, he should root in his soul. Lahargish shekol ha'olamos kulam hu hani shalo, that all the worlds are his hani. Fu be'atmo rak ke'ever katam b'toch habriya kula, and that a person is only one limb in the entire bria, in the entire creation. Vaz gam regesh avas atzmo, and then your own personal selfish feelings of self-love, ozer lo le'ahov es kol am Yisrael, will help him love all the Jewish people, ves kol habriya kula, and all of creation. So this is, I think, what the Mechekh Chockhmah is talking about with Ya'akov. Ya'akov had this expanded sense of I, so that when he got a bracha, all of Mitzrayim got a bracha, because all of Mitzrayim was included in his ani. Uledati, Rav Shimon Shkop continues, in my opinion, in his opinion, Merumaz inyan zeh b'mamaro shel Hillel of Shalom. This is hinted at in a famous quote of Hillel, who said, "Im eina nili mili." If I am for myself, if I am not for myself, who is for me? Kshani la'atzmi mani. But if I am for my etzem, for my bones, for myself alone, what am I? Hainu sheroi kol adam lahamet lidog. This amit lidog tamid ba'ad atzmo. It is appropriate for a person to constantly be busy taking care of his own needs. So imanani mili. it is appropriate for me to work for myself. But I have to understand, Kishani Latmi Mani, when I talk about myself, I don't just mean my bones. Shemi something as Ani Shelo. If he confines his Ani, Bechug Tsar, Kafi Marasayan, in a narrow way, the way the eye sees, Az Ani Zeh Mahu. What is the value of an Ani that's only one person? Hevelhu Ube'ein Achshav. It is emptiness, it is vanity, and not worth thinking about. And this is, I think, the lesson that the Mechekh Chockhmah is also trying to get from Vayechi Ya'akov Eretz Mitzrayim. Ya'akov was such a great man, he couldn't fit just in one home or in Goshen. Rather, his influence included, his eye included the entire Mitzrayim. Now I'm going to take a break, tell another Dvar Torah closer to my normal time. Have a great Shabbos if you're not back.